Here we are at our first auction. Not made of money, but hoping we can get something. And if nothing else, we'll see a lot of cool old junk. George is wearing my favorite shirt. Here's just a quick view of what's outside.
He says it's 55 out here, and he says that's unsafe. Oh, good. Yeah, that's what he said. Definitely. And you know what?
Yeah, this looks like a pretty cool Jeep, but it's only half a Jeep. Where's the other half? And here's a shot from inside. Mr. Pete would probably like this one. It's an awesome little South Bend lathe. Flat leather belt drive. It's got some age on it. But here in the machine shop, look at the storage he did. The man who set this all up, he cut the tops out of like 1 gallon gas can type cans. And labeled them, and that's his storage. Seemed pretty effective. This old little shear.
I mean, there's a lot of ratchets in there. 2 or 3 of them that have the swivel to it and the bend. And they're good. They're loose and they're craftsman ready to go. We'll give 200 for the flat. Out of tip of the belt, you give 50. Whoop, that's 75. Out of 100. Out of $100 down, deal. $100 down, $quarter down, deal. Down 1 quarter, I'll check down. Half deal down 150. 50 for the belt, 75. 175 for the belt, make you 175 for the belt, make you down 175. Out of 200. Whoop, tip of the belt down, 2 down, deal.
Hey Toolerinos, I went to my first auction ever. It was at a nearby farm that had a lot of stuff. My son went with a friend to help set up for the auction, and you know, he was telling me all the stuff that they had, so he wanted to go. Yeah, he wanted to go. I'll blame my son for dragging me to this auction. But everything you see on the floor there and here, all together, I spent $70. So have a look and see if you think I did okay. And if any of these things are super awesome or unknown, I haven't really gone through this whole tray. I really just bought it for what was on top. And that didn't even turn out to be what I thought it was. So hopefully there's some good stuff in the tray. Let's find out. Okay, the first group of items was $20. I was really bidding on this, and this just kind of came with it. But this turned out to be a really cool item, so I'm glad it came with it. If you read there what it says, the Clarence J. Marks Company, Cleveland, Ohio, and it's got the instructions here. And it is a speed checker for measuring the RPM of a running machine, like a lathe or a mill or a grinder. So the end here, when it spins, it will make the gauge move. Oh, wrong way, there it goes. And you can change these ends to touch up against something and impart the motion for the gauge. So awesome item, I think. But I was really bidding on this because I didn't have a sweet one like this. It is a Starrett machinist level. See if you can read that there. Right there. But it's got the little protective thing to spin over. And of course it's adjustable. And it's got a bubble on the end. And it has a bubble inside the middle here. Sorry for the angle of the camera there. It's kind of hard to work with a big pile on top of my workbench. But I thought that was a really cool find for $20. And since the other cool thing came with it, it's like they were $10 a piece, right? So a really cool Starrett machinist level for only 10 bucks. Next set of items was $10, and it was this 3/4 inch drive ratchet, which I don't see any markings on it, so you know, no name, no pride, may not really be made very well, but it still works, and it's pretty fine tooth compared to the big 3/4 drive ratchet I have, which is the Williams set. It has a very coarse tooth. So I thought, well, I'll clean that up and add it to my box, and hopefully it's sturdy enough to be useful. I mean, I'm not taking apart trains or anything here, so it should be fine for me. And the other item, which I was more excited about, was this large 3/4 inch drive Craftsman breaker bar. And it is a bit rusty, but it's a V, and you know, V's were always good quality. So we'll get that cleaned up and also add it to the 3/4 inch drive box. And again, both these items were $10, so they were $5 a piece. Not a bad price. Alright, let's start into the box. This was the item that I was really bidding on. When I saw the tray, this was on top, and I really was interested in this. I thought this was something for engraving, okay, and maybe when I open it you'll see why. See, it has this picture, and I thought it was for doing engraving, but it's really for lettering, and it came with a whole bunch of tips and a good number of stencils basically that the lettering tool follows, different fonts, different sizes, and it's just a really neat vintage lettering tool, and it's in really good shape. So everything appears to be present. There's also, I don't think it's original for this kit, but there are some sort of fountain pens. There's fountain pen ink tips in here and a couple different handles, some sort of eyedroppers that I imagine are for loading ink onto the fountain pen. I don't know. So yeah, it was slightly disappointing that it wasn't for engraving, but it's still a really cool vintage item. So now the tray. As I said, I didn't even really look at what was in the tray. I was bidding on that box, and I bid $20, and I got this tray for $20. So here's a big hitch pin, brand new. Here is a label maker. I have one of these at work, and it was pretty expensive. So assuming it will work with new batteries and clean it up, that is a good find, a steal. That alone for $20 is a steal, because these are very expensive to buy new. Alright, what else do we have here? KD Tools ball joint separator. Looks like basically new, maybe a couple hits on there, but otherwise practically new condition. A set of 1/8 inch drill bits, Harbor Freight-esque, but you know, they got the titanium coating, and they're the 1/8 inch ones, which I use more than anything for starting holes or making pop rivet holes. So that's awesome. Set of fresh, clean cotter pins to add to my hoard of a lifetime supply of cotter pins. Some heavy-duty masonry style screws for going into mortar or cement block. Those could come in handy. Here we go. Craftsman. Some sort of ratcheting. Oh, it's metric, 21 and 19 millimeter ratcheting tool. What else do we have here? It's another one, metric, 18 and 16 millimeter. And here's another one, 6-sided drive, 13 and 14 millimeter. And then here's a smaller one, 9 and 10 millimeter. Huzzah! A ratcheting 6.10 millimeter. Yeah, they work. They could use a little lube, but nice. I think my son is the one working on all the mini bikes and things. I think we're going to give those to my son. I think he'd appreciate those. What else do we have? Oh, look at that! It's a VVV 3/8 drive Craftsman flex head, and it's in like new condition. It's got the push button release, nice. Yep, works both ways. Cool. I don't have one of those. I didn't know that was in the box. Sweet. What else? Got some old style bits for the old style braces that I like to collect. So that's cool. Excuse me. A really big taper punch. And it is a Cornwell. Nice. A really big tap. And what's next here? We have a bent pin punch. The handle looks nice. I could straighten that out and use it as long as I don't use it too hard. It's a 1/8 pin punch India. Interesting. I'm sure I have other tools from India, but that could be the one for the wall, for the map, I mean. And that's cute little Exolite. Huh. Nice. What do we have here? Mouse poo. Ew. Made in USA, whatever this is. Cutting tools. It says cutting tools. It looks like a drill case. Norseman Drill and Tool. Magnum Super Premium Drill Bits. Well, it's missing some. If they were all originally in it. I assume they were. Wow, those do look sharp, no pun intended. But man, those are some sort of very aggressive brad points, or I don't know what you call that, but turn down shank on the bigger one. It's a Huot, made in USA. I've got some things from them before. I think that's like Minnesota or something. Well, that was cool. You guys let me know what anybody knows what those types of tips are called, and if they're just supposed to be for wood or what. Alright. Spring clip, pin things. Craftsman wire stripper. Pretty nice. Again, they don't seem too badly worn, and they definitely seem high quality. Yep, made in USA. They remind me of the ones I used in shop class in Power Tech in high school. Cool. I don't have a set like that. The ones I have are those bigger, long-handled ones that kind of suck. So that's cool. That's a happy find. Another bit. Some more brand new drill bits from McMaster Carr. Some more brand new bits. Interesting. Tapcon carbide tipped concrete drill bits. Wow. They have a weird shank. Come on. Is that focusing? You see how the shank is split in half there on the end? That's kind of interesting. It's got a an inserted carbide tip in there. Awesome thing to have included in the box. We have a Hitachi brand single brand new 1/8 inch drill bit. More Tapcon exact same bits, 1/4 inch, nice. More spring clips, more cotter pins, bigger size, aluminum nails, and what's this? Looks fancy. Something drawing instruments made in Philadelphia since 1850. Well, that's cool. Well, unfortunately, the box has been chewed on by a rodent because the box is full of rodent droppings. So that's the end of the tray. I'm going to take the camera off the tripod and show some bigger items on the floor, and that'll wrap us up. Okay, these 3 items that you see here, the scroll saw, the sander, and this grinder, all came as a single lot for $10. And this handheld grinder was really what I wanted. It is Dayton brand. It does not specifically say USA made anywhere, so I mean it does say Dayton Electric Manufacturing Company, Chicago, USA, so I'm assuming it's made in USA, but it does look like something that could be from the 80s or the 90s possibly. Big handheld grinder, double insulated, so it's newer. So that's what I bought for $10, and these things came with it for free. I really have no need for another sander, or I've never really been interested in anything that a scroll saw would be needed for, so given my lack of space, I'll probably just donate those 2 items to Habitat for Humanity. And finally, this milk crate came with 3 vintage power tools. Alright, and this milk crate came with 10 vintage power tools for and this milk crate came with 3 vintage power tools for $10. In a good milk crate too. And I had no idea what the brands were or anything. It just wasn't getting much bidding. So I bid on it and I got it for $10. But after we got it home, we started looking, and that is Milwaukee. So that's awesome. There's lots of grease on it, so maybe it leaks, or maybe it's just been well serviced. I don't know, but it is heavy. It is very heavy. And the one thing I noticed is this sort of saddle bracket on here that I wonder what that's for. I was thinking maybe there's a base that you can attach this to use it like a chop saw, maybe, with a cutting disc in it. So I don't know if anybody out there knows anything about these old Milwaukee tools and what that saddle is for. Please let me know in the comments. And then next up is the Powercraft Montgomery Ward Saber Saw, or Sawzall. And, you know, it's cool. It's heavy duty. I don't really need one. I have a really cool old Craftsman one that I've never put on the channel. So I'm happy I got it. I'm just not sure what to do with it other than polish it up. So maybe I'll donate it. Maybe I'll keep it. I don't know. And then last but not least, definitely not least, is a small version of the Man Killer drills. And you see what it says? Van Dorn, 1/2 inch junior. So that's pretty cool, especially for me, for those of you who don't know. And the chuck looks functional. It is not insulated, it is not grounded, so I will need to upgrade the cord and ground it. But that is a spectacular find for me. And I was just so happy that I got that randomly as part of this lot for 10 bucks. So I got 3 vintage power tools. One of them is spectacular for me. Another one is pretty awesome. And another one is maybe ho-hum, but still cool. How can you go wrong? They're $3.33 a piece. Right?